What is this?
Some people think that the ego is not completely bad. I became confused and came up with a question. Is our ego completely bad, or is there a good and bad ego?
Well, you see, ego, the nafs in Islam, let's take it from a position where we can actually understand. Nafsu amara, nafsu mutma'in. Nafsu amara is the disobedient ego. Nafsu mutma'inna is the obedient ego. The ego is an entity, it's a creature that Allah has created. It has great power to disobey Allah. Its whole existence is in disobedience to Allah. Shaitan is not like the ego. That's why saints are saying the ego is 1,000 times more powerful than Shaitan, because Shaitan disobeyed Allah once. The ego, you and me, that we have, it disobeys Allah every time, at every turn. That's why when Allah has the ego is standing right in front of, understand, the ego is standing right in front of Allah. And Allah is saying, who are you, who am I and who are you? And our ego says, you are you and I am me. Are we understanding the power that the ego has to disobey, that Allah has given? So, that's why Islam is complete. Islam is not Buddhism. To say, well, we have to just annihilate everything. There's no good, no bad, no black, no white, no nothing. I'm nothing. Everything is nothing. I feel nothing. No, it's not. Now, the purpose is not annihilation of the ego. That's wrong too. Tasawwuf, in the big early part of that understanding in Western countries, it has been co-opted by these Orientalists and these academics, and they just use words here and there. People are reading it because they're interested, and wrong ideas are put into that. So it is not to destroy the ego. The whole purpose of tariqat, of Islam, is not to destroy the ego. It is to control the ego. The ego is like a racing car, a race car, a sports car. Very powerful engine. If you let it drive itself, it will destroy others and destroy itself and destroy you. But if you know how to drive it, then it has that power that so many other cars they don't have. The ego, it is also described as the burak. You know, that animal that Holy Prophet was riding to go up to the paradises? That is the ego. It has that power now. When you are sitting on the ego and you're controlling the ego can then, with that power that Allah has granted, to disobey Allah. But because now you're putting the reins on your ego, it has that power now to move as you want it to be. And with that, riding that ego, you will come close to Allah. So you want to come close to Allah? No, it's not so much of zikr and praying and this and that, no. It is controlling the ego. Once you can ride on that ego, you'll come near to Allah. So, good ego, bad ego. Ego, eat. Eat, eat. No, it is not. All these terms is all mixed up together. But it is the nafs. Nafsu amara, change it to nafsu mutma'in. When that obedient ego is there and the spirit is controlling that ego in this world, the spirit is controlling that ego, then we will break through this physical existence, this time and this space, and the prison of the five senses. And when we are able to break through while we are here, then we can go farther after we are taken from this world, because it's a long journey, very, very, very long journey ahead of us to reach to our Lord. And we need, yes, that ego now to train it, to control it, to bring us close to our Lord. That is what Allah has put, that is what Allah has ordered us to do. That is what Holy Prophet ﷺ, he has ordered and he has left us with. That is what tariqat is. This is the inner teachings, the secret teachings, the esoteric teachings of tariqat of Islam. that Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying now there is the Shariat, the do's and the don'ts. Now we are moving on into the tariqat, which is the work that you have to do inside. Our brother asked earlier, how do you know yourself? You know yourself first, you have to know your ego. Once you know your ego, you can control the ego. Then that time we may speak about other matters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Say.